People of Earth, comic book community, it is March 16th. You know what that means. Comix 316 says I just got some books. What is going on, comic book community? It is Flash by Night, and we are back here with the re-up, sharing with you my new comic book day books, or actually new comic book day book, and some books I picked up along the way this week, and you are not going to want to miss them. I got a couple of stories. I've got a few back issues that I picked up, and I think you are going to enjoy yourself. So go ahead, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we are going to jump into it with my first book, which is Chariot Number 2. You didn't see that one coming, did you? So, a long time ago, long time ago, I was into Chariot because Chariot basically sounded like Knight Rider. And Knight Rider was one of my favorite shows growing up. And so I got Chariot Number 1, but I was late ordering Chariot Number 2 at my shop. So I went to another shop and I put in an order with them because my shop orders a little bit before FOC. And so I missed out at my shop. So I went to another shop, I ordered Chariot, and it came in and it kind of got lost in the shop. So he said that when he found it, he'd let me know. I said that I would check back in on it, and neither one of us got back to it until this week. I walked into his shop because I am transferring to his shop because mine is closing. And lo and behold, he's got Chariot Number 2. So we picked up Chariot Number 2. Since then, I've gotten the trade. I still haven't read it yet, but I've gotten the trade. But Chariot Number 2 showed up, so we brought it home. Next book we have Devil's Reign, issue number 3, second print. I missed the first print of Devil's Reign, number 3, and I've read 4 and 5. I still feel like I'm missing something, so maybe that something is in issue 3. So we're gonna read this, see what's going on. I think most of everybody knows Devil's Reign by now. Kingpin, or actually I guess the Mayor Wilson Fisk, outlaw superheroes. Some superheroes try to fight back in some ways, some in other ways. Kingpin has the Thunderbolts working for him. The Thunderbolts throw Moon Knight in jail. That's a long story that we're going to get into hopefully sometime this week on Keeping Up with Comics. But yeah, that's kind of the premise of Devil's Reign. It's got a few more details in it. A Wilson Fisk relative, a Matt Murdock relative, all kinds of confusing stuff. But next book we're going to get into, and book I missed, like I said, I'm actually, most of my haul is going to be books I missed the last couple of weeks, or last 2 or 3 weeks. So next one is the Peach Momoko variant for Ghost Rider, issue number 1. Of course, this Ghost Rider book is covering Johnny Blaze, but Peach was feeling very Robbie Reyes at the time, and so that is who's on the cover with the literal Hell Charger. Next book, Punisher number 1, the, I think, spoiler cover. We're going to jump into Punisher really quick because Punisher was a thing. And then I have Punisher number 1. I don't know who did. Goran Parlov, I think, did this variant for Punisher number 1. Of course, if you've not been living under a rock, Marvel has Jason Aaron writing this Punisher run, and at the beginning of the run, at least, there is a different logo for the Punisher because he is either working for or running the Hand. One of those two. And so the logo looks different. People are freaking out because there's societal, political stuff going on with the Punisher logo, and people are hoping that this doesn't mean some permanent change, some devaluing of Frank Castle, the Punisher. I don't believe so. I do believe there may be some kind of change towards the end, or maybe they fake everybody out, and Frank Castle just goes on his way, doing what he's always done, which is, I think, kind of unhealthy for Frank. I want to see what they're gonna do with Frank by the end of this run. But Jason Aaron has written the Punisher before, so I trust that he's gonna do the character justice with whatever direction they take him. Next book up, I'm catching up on Dark Knights of Steel issue number 5. You know, our DC characters in this high fantasy Game of Thrones type environment. We have basically the House of Ale, and then this House of Storms with Black Lightning leading them, and also the Amazons, of course. And you know, things get started. We learn a little history with the families. Batman is in here, but he has some special things going on. If you have not read Dark Knights of Steel yet, Batman has some special relationships in this book. Either way, we are up to issue number 5, and so I'm gonna give this a read. I'm expecting big things. Next book I grabbed, and I'm going to give it a read, even though I don't. So, Trial of the Amazons, issue number 1, Rose Besh cover. I don't actually remember. I'm pretty sure it's on previews, but I don't remember if I ordered this or not. But this is a pretty fly cover. I'm going to have to catch up on Trial of the Amazons, maybe go back and read some of the Wonder Woman and Nubia and Yara Flor build up. Or maybe I'll just start from here, take it for what it's worth, and see where this story goes. Next book up from DC, Nice House on the Lake, issue number 7. I don't think much more needs to be said. I actually haven't read past issue number 1. Still, I'm going to get to it, I promise, sometime soon. I'm going to get to it, but I figured I may as well pick it up while it is here. In case you're wondering why I'm showing some of the DC books, it's because my old shop, one of their problems that they were having was that they had a falling out with Lunar, and so I haven't been able to get DC books in a while. So I'm having a chance to catch up on some of the DC books I missed and wanted to pick up. Speaking of DC books I missed and wanted to pick up, Naomi, Volume 2, issue number 1 of 6. Brian Michael Bendis creation, along with I think it's David F. Walker. I think that's the artist's name. Yeah, so this is a pretty new character. She came along just a couple of years ago, and she's been hanging out with Superman. She was always a Superman fan as a civilian, and then she kind of learns of her powers and her parents and their lineage and what her city has to do with the greater DC universe. So I want to see what happens in this book. She's also been part of the Justice League. I'm not sure how that's going to go since Justice League 75 and the death of the Justice League is coming up. I don't know where she falls in the Justice League pantheon right now. But we're going to check this out. Probably go find a couple of old Justice League books because I want to see what happens with Naomi towards the end of that run. And my last DC book is my only new comic book day book, and it is The Flash issue number 780. This is it part 2 or part 3 of the War for Earth 3. To be honest, I said I was going to check the War for Earth 3 out. I still have not checked it out, and I don't know if I should read this until I do, and if not, we're always going to get the Flash book every month without fail, unless, of course, something happens at the store and I can't get the book. But if I can get a hold of the Flash, whether or not I'm reading it, whether or not it's good, we're going to have a Flash book in our hands. So those were the newish comic book day books. But I have a few more things to show. So from the same comic book store I went to for my new and newish books, I also picked up 3 Luke Cage books. So we have, and they're not in great shape. They're all kind of readers, pretty much, maybe a little bit better. But we have Luke Cage Hero for Hire, issue number 6, 20-cent copy. I'll tell you, I got these 3 books I'm going to show you for a total of 15, I believe. But yeah, Heroes for Hire, issue number 6. I'm not sure who this is behind him with the axe, but he does not know who he's messing with. Next book on the list, Luke Cage Hero for Hire, issue number 7. I see the bottom is torn a little here. I noticed that on this next book also. So they're not perfect books, but I didn't mind the price for them, and especially this one. I didn't know. I knew about the story in this book, but I didn't know it was this book until after I walked out, because I saw the character on the cover and I was wondering if this particular story was in this book. So we have Luke Cage Hero for Hire, issue number 9. And I have not read this issue yet, but I believe that this issue is the issue where Luke Cage basically runs up on Dr. Doom in Latveria because Dr. Doom owes him that $200. That's right. Luke Cage has been around for 9 issues, because Luke Cage's first appearance is in Luke Cage Hero for Hire, issue number 1. So he has been around the whole 9 issues, not even a whole year, and he is already running up on Dr. Doom for his money. That's right. So those 3 books we picked up, and like I said, they were $15, which, you know, the books weren't in great condition, but it's still not bad. All right, 2 books I wanted to show off that I showed off on my live stream last night. If you have not checked it out, these are the bookend books to the haul I had on my live stream. So first book came from a Whatnot sale from Nick's Kicks and Comics, great community member, and it is the Virgin version of Miles Morales Spider-Man 23 that I'm going to call it dunking variant. I don't know if it's an MJ homage or not, but he is definitely trying to get above the rim. And you can see right there, we've got Frankie's Comics on the shot clock. So this is a Frankie's Comics and I think Golden Apple exclusive. I have the trade dress already. I bought the set. I sold my Virgin version basically for the price I paid for the set. So basically my trade dress was free after the sale. And then this book came about at a good price, picked it up, and now we have the set back together again. And the last book from my haul that I showed Tuesday is a book I've been waiting for about a year, and the wrapper wouldn't cooperate. So, book I've been waiting for about a year from CBCS. I got it signed at Huntsville Pop Culture Expo, I think in April of last year, and I finally got back Transformers number 1, signed by Jim Shooter in a 7.5 witness signature. So I know Jim Shooter was not the writer or not the artist or anything on this book, but he was the editor-in-chief when when Transformers came to Marvel. So you may as well say he was like one of the building blocks for my entire childhood. So of course I had him grace the cover of my Transformers #1. It came back at 7.5. I wanted it to be higher, but I expected somewhere between a 7 and a 7.5. It's cool. I've got a Transformers #1, and it is graced by Jim Shooter. So that is the reel. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you saw something you liked. If you did enjoy yourself, go ahead, hit that like button. And if you want to keep up with me picking up my comics, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Of course, leave comments. If you were not there on Wednesday night, Moonlit Comics had a show where she and 3 guests, Ozzy Comics, Otto from 3 Men in the Basement, and Geek Driven from Team Nerd Herd, all showed off their Moon Knight books. I was kind of jealous secretly, but I participated and it was all fun. Hopefully they'll do it again. Hopefully I can get an invite. That would be great. But anyway, you guys, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. And as we always do at this time, love yourself, love others, and I will be back in a flash.